right? Config map can take data. Config map can data from a key value pair or from an environment file or from a file also. What if you want to share some file to pod? So let's say it's not about only variables. If you have some, Kubernetes is here. Now you have some file where your data is there and you are in the client machine. And you want to share this file with the pod, deployment, replica set, and replication controller, okay, under a namespace. So config map can also take data from file and can give to all the resources, right? So first example I am taking is -- from literals. Let's say I'm gonna say x is equals to yellow, okay? If I want to use more than one variable, I can use -- from literals again. Y is equals to blue, okay? Likewise, you can keep defining -- from literals, and you can keep defining environment variable like this, okay? If you don't want to define this so many times, you can store in a file the same way, and you can give the file name as well, okay? So as of now, I'm taking only one, right? Enter. And if I'll check get cm, that is config map, we have this config map created, okay? I can describe it by kubectl describe config map and the name of C. I can see what variable I have given and what data I have given, okay? So once I define that, what I can do is in my env file here, rather than writing this value directly, right, I need to write keyword value from, and then under value from I can write config map key reference, okay? Config map key reference, and under config map key reference I can give name. What is the name of config map? Also cm1. So name of config map. In the beginning you might be feeling, we are using the big keywords, but anyway, we'll use it number of times. And the key keyword, what is the key? That is x. So name of key that store value in config map, okay? So we are not writing anything here first of all. That means nobody can directly check that data. So this is a variable original name and value from config map, and we are having this and the x. What is x? X is not your x, it's like this x value, right? X is equals to yellow. So in a very simple way, this is just x is equals to yellow, and we are having that key. So that is a combination of key and value, right? Yes, here you can give anything, but this x can be anything, and the same thing you have to write here. And the original variable, so the environment variable that you defined in Docker file, that is right here under name keyword, right? Yes, see, this is environment variable that you defined in Docker file, and this is x that you define in the config map key. So I hope you get that point, Rhythm. Just let me know in the chat window if you get it, okay? So anyway, so just sharing history and this file, and if you guys are understanding it very well, then type yes or understood message in the chat window so that I can proceed it. Alright. So बाकी लोग थोड़े स्लो हैं या फिर इंटरनेट स्लो है. ओके, सो मुकेश, रिदम, what about others? मतलब समझ में आया हो तो ही हाँ बोलना. राइट? हाँ सर, बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया. ओके, great, understood. Functioning fine. Okay, now let's do that. So if I do kubectl apply -f env.yml. Okay, so it is saying config map selector got array expected map. Okay, so when it is expecting map, why I'm giving like, see, so they're saying they're not expecting array, they're expecting map. So I'm just removing it, and without hyphen I can write here because config map is not expecting in array format. Fine. Yes, Piyush. So only pod will read the value during the creation time. Right? Yes. So if I do it again, got created and get pods. Yes. First of all, let me delete everything, whatever it is running in my Kubernetes. I have a lot of things running here. Okay. It will take time. It is taking so much time. Okay, till the time I can. Okay, oh my god, it came back. Okay, fine. So apply -f and -env.yml. Okay, so if you check here in the pod, I'm just giving you the exec command it and pod1, then env. So if you check here, the color value is yellow. Okay. Fine. So this is yellow color, and what I'm doing right now is let me expose pod and the pod name -type load port port 80. Alright, get service. So I'm getting 30141 30141. So 30141. Yes, yellow color. Okay, and let's say if I create another config map like kubectl create config map assume2 and from literals y is equals to or a is equals to blue, and then I'm gonna make a copy of it env1.yml, and in the env1.yml I'm gonna give a different name of the pod, and here I'm gonna give cm2 and here A. Right? So same to this, and if I try to apply by -F env1, then part2 got created, and if I expose part2 also, if I can type node port and then 80, then I can check by get svc. It's a 30196, 30196, 96. See, blue page and 30141, 30141. Okay. So the good point is, even if the pod is getting deleted, your variable is also not depending on the pod. So config map is a separate entity, right? And you can use the same config map with different pods. So if you have pod 1, pod 2, pod and many pods, so you can use the same config map with XYZ number of pods. You don't have to define these values over there. So even if you are sharing some file also, it is also not very much one. Okay. So, all right. So might be, you're having some confidence. Okay, Ashif, I'll give some. See, the point is not about changing it. Let's say if I have 1,000 pods, then I have to change in 1,000 places every time if I want to change the value. For example, Ashif, if you're not understanding it, let's say you created 1,000 pods where all pods are having X is equals to, for example, color is equals to yellow. All pods having color is equals to yellow, right? Now you want to destroy these pods and you want to create them all by replacing X is equals to blue. You want to make a blue pod. So if you do it one by one, what will be the problem? This blue thing you have to update in all the 1,000 pod file and recreate it. Big job, right? Rather than doing that, if you created config map and this config map are mapped, so you just change the value here, X is equals to, let's say, from yellow to blue. Once you do that and you recreate the pod, all the data got updated. Fine? Did you get it now? Maybe other people also, if you are having some confusion. So Ashif and hopefully other people, you can just respond here in the chat window if you are understanding it, how it is different from env. Because in case of env, you need to change on those 1,000 places. Alright? Understood? Ashif, where is Ashif? Great. Cool. Alright. Now the second example is, and that is a big thing, that is also a difference. Config map can also be used as a volume, right? So because config map can take data from file and you can use config map as a volume, right? Any keyword use. It can replace anything. It can inject a new variable. So good question by the Piyush. So even if your Docker image is not having some variable, let's say, for example, it is not having any variable like color, right? So you can also inject a new variable by using config map, right? So it's not a problem. A new variable also. Yes, in some cases you can use as a template for injecting data, variables, some username, password. Yes, we can pass multiple key and values. So how you can do? Let's say if your config map is having multiple data, so you can keep, see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just taking these 2, 3, 5 line copying and pasting it again. Let's say the second variable name is color1, and you can give, let's say you have another key in the config map too, you can give A2. So if you have a variable key in CM1 like A and you have another A2, so you can keep passing that likewise. Okay. So this example you can also assume this section, inspect it every time and do it for 1,000 times. Even some variable is not present in Docker file, it's not a problem, right? So I hope Shreya you also get your answer, Piyush you also get your answer using this, right? Great. Okay, see, let me show you. Windows error sign. Yeah, very much. I hate Windows, but I just don't want to, Anyway, I'm ordering MacBook by this evening tonight itself. Then we'll have fun. Okay. Then I have Linux, Windows, and Mac, all three OS. We'll do a lot of R&Ds. Anyway, so for a rhythm, yes, we can inject. How? See, for example, let's say I'm going to take cool.yml, and the cool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the name of variable like Hakuna. Okay, fine. And then I'm deleting everything as of now, right? सही है कोई बात नहीं. Okay. So because the reason is let me just deploy it first. This error, oh my god. Fine. So as of now, rhythm, you can see here we don't have any variable like this in Docker image, but if I create it like apply-f cool.yml, and if I just check by exec and the pod name Ashutosh pod env, you can check Hakuna is a variable. What happened? Let me just check it. What is happening? I'm coming in 1 minute, right? Just closing my door. सो सर्वप्रथम आप सबको क्या समझना चाहिए कि क्यूबरनेटीज क्या है, राइट? व्हाट इज क्यूबरनेटीज? एंड अगर आप ये समझ गए तो आप कॉन्फिग मैप भी समझ जाओगे।